Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's video is especially dedicated to all my viewers and all parents out there. This video, we'll be looking at some interesting and creepy TikToks from around the world. Check it out.
You got a bad tummy ache?
I don't know. Something wrong.
Yep, a life-ending fatal infection is now growing on ramen noodles, and experts are urging everyone to go to the ER immediately. Citizens were terrified after 5 kids from 5 different families had cooked up ramen, and each of them described feeling like something was eating them from the inside out, and was rushed to the ER and passed away all within a few hours, with the CDC's eerie warning that a third of adults will not make it after getting infected, with children and elderly victims being way higher. Experts were able to trace it back to a horrifying bacteria, saying the infection is able to flourish specifically in ramen given the way it can be handled post-manufacturing. And there's no way to stop it, as the families reported that once they noticed symptoms like diarrhea and vomiting, it was already much too late.
The recalls are getting real. 5 kids have passed away from eating ramen noodles. Throw those ramen noodles away because these recalls are getting real.
The specific ramen brand is not 100% confirmed, but the internet has its theories. If possible, avoid eating ramen religiously or at all, and my condolences to these families.
As far as using us as guinea pigs for mind control and other types of horrible things they have in mind for us and the rest of the people in the world. What are some of them?
Well, it started out basically with the CIA doing experimentations on their own men to discover if they could get rid of agents who were going to quit the department and still had classified information. So they utilized different types of drugs and pain and hypnosis and electric shock to try and get the guys to forget. Then they also did experimentations to using different chemicals to see if you can induce a person to commit a crime or induce him to do that or to do this. Of course, the CIA claimed that it didn't carry it through. The documentation we got was actually that they did that. Then we came across the overall project called MK Ultra. Its earlier code name was Artichoke, and that included 149 sub-projects. And those sub-projects range from what I just described to open-air testing in the United States, the experimentation on prisoners, experimentation on soldiers, experimentation on college students.
Would these people know they were being experimented on and gave their approval?
No.
No approval needed. I hope that was AI generated. Because, oh my word, I have to check my dog out or deworm him or something because, goddamn, that's not a worm, that's a snake. Yo.
To see if you would comply. They're so proud. They're so excited that the test worked. The World Economic Forum finally tells the truth about COVID. It was a test of our obedience to rapidly forming New World Order. And for those of you like Dude and DT Bro and the rest of you motherfuckers that are going to try to debunk this, this is exactly what the WEF has posted on their website. What you're looking at right here is a screenshot from the WEF World Economic Forum website. Their language, their heading, COVID-19 was the test of social responsibility. A huge number of unimaginable restrictions for public health were adopted by billions of citizens across the world. There were numerous examples globally of maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, mass vaccinations, and acceptance of contact tracing applications for public health, which demonstrated the core of individual social responsibility. It was a test, all a test.
The pineal gland, which receives the light in a different color formation, that means the entire spectrum of light. It is necessary for the body to have that light, the basic metabolic processes. Also, you have to allow UV light to come in. When you do that, you are producing a hormone in the brain that is responsible for the melanin production in your skin. So that's where your skin protection occurs. If you are not producing that, your skin becomes susceptible to even sunlight. Let's say you wear sunshades, the body thinks it's dark outside, and it doesn't make that hormone that is responsible for producing the melanin to protect your skin. The light is needed. Every cell communicates with every other cell through light. Our cells require sunlight to grow and reproduce themselves, so that you have a new body constantly created over and over and over again.
This is nasty work. These scientists are playing God, manipulating the elements, creating natural disasters for targeted areas.
A machine that can create the worst imaginable hurricane conditions indoors.
Indoors!
This is the Sustain Wind Wave Laboratory. Sustain stands for Surge Structure Atmosphere Interaction.
Atmosphere interaction.
I still get a chill sometimes watching it, even though I've seen it run hundreds of times.
Okay.
For winds.
I like the wind.
Yes.
You make it nice and simple. So you're like, do this first. Do this first. Do this second. Anybody can figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they just pull a lever, push a button, and now they creating natural disasters for certain areas. They playing God. We actually control elements as gods, but they're doing it themselves in laboratories.
Let me tell you a true story, so boom, did you hear what's going on right now? Scientists said that they found 2.6 million mysterious eggs underneath an underwater volcano, guys. Now listen, this is what they're saying. I would not know. I'm home right now, so I don't know what's going on in that ocean, right? So they're saying that these are mysterious eggs, guys. 2.6 million of them. Now, I don't know if they sat there and counted all those eggs, but that's what they're saying, guys. And you know, scientists know what they're talking about. All right, guys, so there's eggs out there, and they're saying that these eggs are massive. These are not like these eggs that you cook in your frying pan for breakfast. These eggs are huge. Now, there's people saying, not the scientists, people are saying that it could have something to do with something big, guys. And you know what they've been saying that's been under that water for years, guys. Like I said, I would not know what's under that water because I'm on the surface, guys. I'm on land just like you. So this is what they're saying, guys. 2.6 million mysterious eggs. Big eggs, not these little eggs. Not spider eggs. Not those eggs that you're used to seeing in your house. Those little critters, you know what I'm talking about. But this is what I'm hearing, guys. Now listen, I don't know what's going on, but all I know is that we got to be ready. Get ready, because I don't know what's going on out there, guys. I'm just waiting to get the word. This is what I'm hearing. And let's not forget, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is what I heard. I'm not making any of this up. This is what I heard, all right, guys? So, I don't know. Let me know. I don't know.
Are electroparasites that they have introduced into us. Electroparasites, they're cellular micro devices. And apparently they're in all the different vaccine types. And they're just floating around. They seem to congregate. They do different things. They seem to be able to wiggle. And some are fibrous. Some are glowing in different colors. They're employing properties of what you find in nanotech anyway. And the Morgellons people were finding this in their bodies, and they were suffering extremely. Some of them had giant lesions that let out. I hate to say this because people are going to think I'm crazy, but you can watch my videos on YouTube. They're still up there and all over, from chemtrails to pseudo-life. So the people were issuing from their bodies, in some cases, bits of bark, twigs, leaves. These were life forms that the bodies were making from this assembling material.
Well, let me just say a couple of things here, Sophia, as we continue this incredible conversation about what's happening to humanity, this anti-human terroristic plot to destroy humanity and to make people transhuman. My friend Firemedic 8, whose video is there at the top of the phaser.com as we're having this conversation, in a different video, he likes to study all sorts of different things, you know, what's in the air, what's in the water. He put out a dish, and then the next day he took a look at what was in the rainwater, and he found these Morgellons-like structures in rainwater. I don't want to startle anyone, but it really does seem like these things are kind of everywhere.
Microwave radiation pulsing through our urban world today could very well be the newest phase of a giant experiment. With the signing of the Atomic Energy Act in 1946, the Manhattan Project became the Atomic Energy Commission, which created the Joint Committee on Atomic Energy. This was an independent, all-powerful congressional entity, the most powerful secret committee in modern history, free from oversight and with legislative authority. It was done away with in 1977, the same year the Atomic Energy Commission was renamed the Department of Energy. Today, the Department of Energy is known as the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, DEEP, D-E-E-P. Its ostensible focus, exploring production of energy for the welfare of the planet and protection of the environment, when the environment is really being taken apart and changed.
And you guys tell me we should trust the vaccines? All this stuff they're feeding us, putting in our food, putting in our baby food. There's also some clips coming regarding that. These people are using us for guinea pigs, basically experiments. They're slowly killing off humanity.
Theory that comes true. You know, it's going to be funny as we all perish to this mad science that the people who constructed this, that thought all this was a good idea, okay, they're subject to their own experiment in a bad way like we are. The irony.
He could look me in the eye before that and he could laugh.
Jamie was having fevers.
Really high fevers. He started having seizures.
He's almost died on me several times.
Violent vomiting.
He vomited.
Projectile vomiting.
Diarrhea.
She was always crying.
No medical solutions.
Crying hysterically.
Screaming. Type of scream that I'll never forget.
She stopped talking.
She completely shut down. Nonverbal.
So what are they giving these children as a medicine that makes them worse?
True.
Except Trump.
So Trump not their cousin?
No. Trump the only one.
Trump's not related.
He's the only one not related?
Obama's related to Bush and so on and so forth.
Yeah, ain't related to Columbus. Related to everybody.
That's a fact. Why do you think they try to kill him?
How is everybody not knowing they not voting?
Even the president said, I forgot which president, they said presidents are selected, not elected.
Selected by who?
They're all related, right? So it's all family. So the 13 bloodlines that founded this country. Because you know America's a cult, right?
What kind of cult?
The back of the dollar. It's a cult. It's an eye on top of a pyramid. E pluribus unum means from one comes many.
Yeah, from one, damn right, one come many. You investors, right? You get many. Stop playing on me.
From one comes many sounds like a cult.
But if I got one of these, I invest right, then I get many? Is that what they're saying? You get many of these, or what is it saying?
That's what they're saying. That is a cult.
Oh, I get it now.
The 13 bloodlines, 13 colonies that started this country, those are the families that run this country.
Right.
There are certain individuals running this country. Small group of people. Those of you who know what was happening there, I know it's definitely not a creature. There's a logical explanation for it, but I think it's some kind of fish. Those of you who know, please leave it in the comments. I can also know.
Communicating with dolphins. Here's why. Watch this.
I just seen a clip of a dolphin, and it really changed my mind about a lot of things, because I thought the reason we wasn't allowed to communicate with dolphins was because of Levin and Peter the dolphin did what? That happened a long time ago, the little weird NASA study that nobody ever really talks about anymore, and I probably wouldn't look up because it's kind of freaking not kind of bad, it's real bad. Anyways, I thought that was the whole reason we wasn't allowed to communicate specifically with dolphins. But after seeing this little video,
it's a lot darker, y'all.
Yeah. That damn thing just said mama. I know it's squeaking, but it sounds like it's just repeating the words that are coming out of her mouth. And if that's possible, and dolphins are considered one of the most intelligent species on Earth, then is the reason we're not allowed to communicate with them because they know some stuff about the bottom of the ocean? Are they about to spill the freaking tea? I don't freaking know. But all I do know, there's some weird stuff happening, and those one people said that there was freaking UFOs and aliens in the bottom of the ocean.
Once some at-home genius figures out how we can communicate with animals, specifically dolphins, who knows what they're going to tell us. And they're probably going to reveal that there are beings, aliens, whatever you want to call them, at the bottom of our ocean. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Wouldn't that be cool to invent a device which you can communicate with dolphins? Imagine the things that dolphin would tell you. Sure, that would be crazy.
Have you ever noticed that the sun and moon appear exactly the same size in the sky? Think about it. We're told the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, but also 400 times farther away, creating a perfect illusion where they look identical in size. But what are the odds of that? Is this just an incredible cosmic coincidence? Or is it evidence that we've been lied to about our world? According to mainstream science, the sun is 93 million miles away and a massive 865,000 miles in diameter, while the moon is only 2,159 miles wide and just 238,000 miles away. They claim that these two celestial bodies are so perfectly proportioned that they just happen to look the same size from Earth. But here's the problem. There is zero scientific reason why this should happen. Why would we just happen to be positioned in the exact spot where this illusion works? And if the sun is really that gigantic and distant, why does it appear small and local in time-lapse videos and real-world observations? Even more suspicious, the moon and sun follow nearly identical paths in the sky, staying in close alignment throughout the year. If they were really different sizes and distances, their movements should be completely different. Instead, they behave as if they are part of the same localized system. Let's break this down with real-world evidence. Perfect eclipses. The only reason we can even have a total solar eclipse is because the sun and moon appear the same size. If their proportions were even slightly off, eclipses wouldn't be possible. Personal observations: watch the sun and moon rise and set. They move across the sky at similar speeds and stay the same apparent size all day. That wouldn't happen if one were 400 times bigger and farther away than the other. If the sun were really 93 million miles away, it should shift positions dramatically when viewed from different parts of Earth, but it doesn't. Instead, it behaves as if it's much closer. And here's something strange. Why do we never see the dark side of the moon? It's supposedly rotating, yet we always see the same face. Could it be that the moon is actually something entirely different than what we've been told? Try this experiment yourself. Cover a street light with your thumb, then walk away. As you move back, your thumb no longer covers the light. That's perspective. Now ask yourself, if the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, how does the moon perfectly cover it during an eclipse? The math doesn't add up. The only logical explanation is that the sun and moon are much closer and smaller than we're told. This is for entertainment purposes.
Makes sense.
This is the dark truth about oil they've been hiding for years. This is insane.
It is the second most prevalent liquid on Earth. Putting a price on oil is like putting a price on a pail of water. You know, no initial cost is in the ground. And in those days, they were, some of it almost what you'd call surface mining the oil. They didn't go down deep. So in order to get the price up, they hit on the idea that they would have to make it appear to be scarce. That boy, after we take the next few barrels out, we're probably going to have to close as well. You know, that kind of thing.
Same thing they do with
But
diamonds.
a very fortuitous event. In 1892, there was a convention in Geneva of scientists to determine what organic substances are. At this Geneva convention, Rockefeller took advantage of sending some scientists over. They defined oil as the residue from formerly living matter. Well, that makes it a fossil fuel. I don't know why they decided to use the word fossil, but it says formerly living matter is fossil. And another thing we should know is that there has never been a fossil, a real fossil, found below 16,000 feet. We mine oil, or we drill for oil at 30,000, 33,000, 28,000 every day of the week. So right there, we rule it out that it isn't fossil fuel. It's called fossil fuel for the minds of the public to feel
that it is an asset that is running out, being depleted. We talk about depletion allowance, which is a lot of, and actually, if you know the world's oil supply, you know that it is not going to run out for an awfully long time.
Probably just like you, I had no idea oil was this plentiful. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, stay weird.
Dropping some gems right there.
The blue rain. I just found some very scary, non-related, irrelevant stuff. So very quickly, if you're not aware, all May we've been seeing blue rain, purple rain, of course these crazy clouds and all these weird anomalous things happening in the sky. Had to block out the word beside my head, but for instance, they had this blue rain on both of these tarps. Keep in mind all the crazy weather that's so much worse than normal for this time of year and for these areas. Like this one right here was in Texas. But this is not only a Texas problem. Oklahoma, Arkansas, you name it, there's blue rain there. Now keep in mind, I've been alive for 31 years, I've never seen blue rain. Now completely unrelated and irrelevant, just a cool fact, I was wondering what metal turned rain blue. It's copper. But just not that it's being copper, we'll come back to copper, but also it lowers the pH of the water significantly. Now every situation is unique, but these waters are around 2.5 to 2.9. Imagine, if you will, how terrible and unrelated it is for the plants and the soil. The most unrelated thing completely, another cool fact, you know that copper is one of the most conductive metals out there? That's why they use copper everywhere, houses, etc., to conduct electricity. Meaning copper is like a huge antenna. Anyways, back to the topic. I wonder why the rain's blue. So crazy.
The Bible does not say that God created man in the Garden of Eden. It says the gods created man and put him into the garden. And when they left the garden, they left and found people out there. It says so in the Bible. All around the garden were people. And when Adam and Eve were told, had two sons, Cain and Abel, when Cain kills his brother Abel, God says you have to leave out of this protected area. Cain says to God in the scriptures, do not send me out there because anyone finding me out there is going to kill me. God says, no, I'm not going to let them kill you. I'll put a mark on you. Now God believes there's somebody out there. The point is that there must have been people out already there, but not as highly developed and not highly evolved. It would be reasonable if you took a caveman or a Neanderthal race of people and took two out and then through some sort of a high technology genetically changed them and evolved them quickly and then send you back out into a Neanderthal civilization. Now you're going to be totally different and they're going to remember that you left and now you come back different. It all smacks of something else that's in the Bible that we haven't been told.
What do you guys think about that one?
If you're like me, you're probably not too big on conspiracies. But in New York, we had a Mexican tall Navy ship crash into the Brooklyn Bridge, injuring 19 people and unaliving 2. And after all of that, something weird and crazy took place in Times Square. Take a look at this. Take a look at that right there. Look at this. These videos have popped up all over with people claiming that all the lights went dark and then this image appeared on a screen. Who is that? What's going on? What is the message here? So the bigger question is, who is that guy? It kind of looks like an AI generated photo, but of who and why? When all the lights went down, that video appeared on all of the Times Square billboards simultaneously at the same time, causing people to start recording and asking the question, what is going on in New York and Times Square? Let me know your thoughts in the comments as to who that was, why that was done. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
In blood and cover myself in swimming goop, in black goop, and fucking like wear devil horns to fucking sell a record. Fuck that. Or be a witch, or be that, all of that. Fuck all of them. I met Jay-Z and I signed to Rock Nation. The first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. People make it, they all can turn around and thank Beyonce, because that's it. And enough is enough. I'm fucking coming for everyone now. And even Adele, because she's retired now, but her career would not exist.
Without digging too deep into it, whether you believe this woman or not, there is far too many witness testimonies where people are saying similar things for it not to have some truth. And I can't believe in this day and age that some people still refuse to believe that these things are true.
You guys really think that people would just make that shit up? I mean, come on. You see the industry, all the signs are here. But everyone has their own opinion, and everyone can speculate. But there are some people that went through hell, that went through this. Took the wrong path trying to get out, which is a difficult thing. The only thing we can do is support and help these people. But hey, hope you guys enjoyed that clip. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Cheers.